Okay, it is Luxury Fred, and who would have thought that I'd be in a Buick? A Buick! Who would have thought? So Buick, if I might say, is back. The brand is releasing some very nice vehicles, and this is the 2018 Buick Enclave Avenir. And Avenir is a word you might not have heard before. Avenir is Buick's luxury line. So this Enclave Avenir is the first Avenir vehicle. There will also be a LaCrosse Avenir, I think possibly 2018. LaCrosse is their sedan. And Avenir, again, is their premium line of vehicles. So it comes standard with all kinds of luxury features and a luxurious interior, all standard when you get the Avenir trim level, I guess you might say. So again, this is the Enclave, which is Buick's midsize SUV. And I've spent a lot of time driving this around, and I really like most of it. A couple things I don't like, but I'll talk about them as I talk about what it's like to drive this car. So this has Buick's 3.6 liter V8 V6 engine, which gives you 310 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque, which is adequate. It's not super fast. This model has the front-wheel drive, which I really do not like on any car, especially on an SUV. You do get some torque steer, and there is an all-wheel drive version of this, and if you're looking at getting one of these, I highly recommend that you get the all-wheel drive version, because it's a lot. I haven't driven it, but I can imagine that that would greatly improve how this car drives. Again, it's the engine is torquey and powerful, and you don't have a problem like here. If I floor it, you know, it moves. But again, I'd really like to see what it's like with the all-wheel drive, because it just, you know that it's a front-wheel drive car. Anyhow, so Avenir is Buick's luxury trim level, and Buick is undergoing a revitalization, I would say, as a brand. They've already released 7 new models in the past 2 years. Now, I'm not familiar with all of them. This is my first time driving a Buick, and the plan is to release a dozen new or updated models by 2020, so that they have a whole fleet of new models, not just existing ones and updated versions and things like that. So this Avenir is again, mid-size luxury SUV to compete with offerings from Audi, Mercedes, Toyota, Lexus, Infiniti. And the build quality is there, the fit and finish is there, the materials and things like that. You have a nice fully leather interior. I'll give you a tour of the interior in a minute, and also show you the outside in more detail. But you have nice leather seats, seat 7 people comfortably, and then you have all of the, and as someone that drives a lot of different cars, I'm familiar with what the state of the art is for luxury car technology in terms of infotainment, driver aids, and things like that. And this car has all of that. So you have pre-collision alert and rear cross traffic alert and adaptive cruise control and lane alert beeping if you're going into another lane, and all of those things this car has now, or this SUV has. So this SUV, if I can cheat a little bit, the base price of the Avenir is $53,413. For some reason, they do have one option on this, which they call the Avenir Technology Package, which includes adaptive cruise control and forward automatic braking. Basically, that's it for $2,000. So it includes this vehicle, $53,000. The technology package is another $2,000, and then this particular vehicle has the towing package, which is $650. So with the destination charge and all that kind of stuff, it's just over $57,000. So it's not cheap, but again, I think you get a lot for your money. So 7 seats, full leather interior, every kind of driver aid and things like that, especially with the technology package, which gives you the adaptive cruise control, and it's very comfortable to drive. So again, it competes with everything else out there in terms of all of those amenities and technological features. Fit and finish on the interior is beautiful. You got wood trim, you've got, again, the full leather seating, which all comes standard with the Avenir package. Something interesting, I love to look carefully into where cars are made and things like that. And yes, this is an all-American Buick made in Lansing, Michigan, but the engine and the transmission are both made in Mexico. So you buy this, you're supporting the US and Mexico. Something else I don't like about this car, you get good gas mileage in it, and I like that. It's rated at 18 in the city and 26 on the freeway for an average of 21 miles per gallon. This has that auto stop-start function, which I don't like. And on this car, you cannot turn that off. And I always like to be able to control things on the car. Okay, let the default be that you can't turn it off, but give me a way to turn it off. So that's one of the ways that in doing some research that I've been reading that they achieve those fuel numbers is because you can't disable the auto start-stop feature. It's a little cold this morning in Palm Springs. I got the seat warmer going, and I've got the steering wheel warmer heater turned on. So again, a very luxurious driving experience, other than I don't like the front wheel drive aspect. So I think that's it. I think you get a lot of car for $57,000. I don't think you would be disappointed in this compared to the offerings from Lexus and Toyota. Compared to the offerings from all the different brands in this segment. I'm sorry, it's early in the morning. So that's it. I think it's good value for money. I think they have a lot of features. I think it's exciting that Avenir, that Buick has this new trim level that they're trying to appeal to a more luxury level buyer who might be considering some of those other models from Audi, Q5 or Q7, and some of the models from Infiniti or Lexus as well. And I think, as I was saying, I think this definitely competes with them. So that is it. Why don't I do this? Why don't I show you the interior of the car and give you a quick tour of the exterior as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the outside of the Enclave Avenir. Again, we have kind of a standard these days SUV shape. I've got 20-inch rims on this, which again comes standard with the Avenir package. And then Buick makes a big deal about this black grille, again, which sets this apart from the standard Enclave. Okay. And then we have the Avenir badging on the doors there. This car is dark slate metallic. Okay. So that's a look at the outside. Now let's take a look at the inside. Okay, so now we're in the interior of the Enclave Avenir, and let me give you a tour. So as I was saying before, Avenir is the premium trim level. It comes, as you see it here, you do have different color combinations. So I think it's a combination of good and bad. Again, excellent build quality. I would like to see more leather and kind of premium materials used. You do have leather, you know, where you touch here, leather seating surfaces, and leather probably here in the doors, but there's a lot of plastic here and this whole thing and that part as well. On the good side, you have very nice wood trim here, marked off by chrome over here. You have, again, wood trim here as well. And overall, I think it's a nice fit and finish. You got also a little piece of wood here for a more premium feel on the steering wheel, and you also have a leather wrapped steering wheel, so it has a nice feel to it. The Buick logo there. Displays are analog, with the middle one being digital. I haven't really played around, but I would assume you can change the display that appears in the middle and change what shows up. And then the speedometer here is a digital speedometer, whereas the tach and the other gauges here are analog. You have your center display where you control climate control and infotainment and things like that. This car has the optional trailering package, so you have a trailering button there, traction control off. These are your parking sensors, your lane departure warnings. These beep whenever you move out of your lane. You've got your climate control here, radio control here, engine start stop button there. This is a wireless charger area as well as a USB there. We have a 9-speed transmission on this, and I found it's very good at adapting to your driving and adapting to the road conditions. You have a large center console here, and then this feels like it's cooled down here, but that just might be because it was out all night and it got kind of cold here last night. You have a nice dual sunroof there, front and back section. Have kind of a display up here, or section up here. You've got, of course, GM's OnStar system, sunroof controls, dome light controls. You can program that for your garage door opener. You got a little sunglass area up there. So as I was saying, the seats are kind of the highlight of the vehicle, I think, with the Avenir badging on the headrests. This car seats 7, or this SUV. I'm going to take you into the back in a second, but all the seats are this nice leather. So again, you have beautiful kind of chestnut leather with this colored piping and stitching that really set it off and really give it a premium feel. And trust me, these seats really feel luxurious and nice. And for the seats, we have both heating and cooling of the seats. So let's take a look at the back. Again, we have seating for 7 people with 2 of these captain's chairs. And then in the back, we have a row of seats for 3 people. Okay. Again, all the seats are this very nice leather with the piping and cross stitching there. As you could see, we can access the rear seats without moving these seats. I'll show you how the second row moves, but you can get in and out and access the 3rd row without moving the seats, which is a very big deal because a lot of SUVs, other than the big ones, you have to move the seats to access the back seats. So that's one thing I really like about this. You have a little area here with a full electric charger and USBs, and then you have a rear climate system here that actually I have turned off. You have seat pocket pockets in the seat backs here, and then you have very nice armrests, so that this experience is quite nice sitting. I'll show you here. Sitting in the second row of seats with the armrest and all that. Okay. So let me show you how these work. So the second row of seats are, each seat is different. So the seat on this side, you can, if you pull this up, you have to fold the headrest back. If you pull this up, it folds over like that. So we could kind of step over it to get into the back seat there from this side. Okay. Now if we go around to the other side, and just notice the Avenir badging here on the sill. So from this side, we have an additional way to get in. If we pull this, then the seat kind of, see how that slides forward and pushes forward? And then we can step into the back through that opening right there. See that? So this seat has that additional kind of tilt forward feature. And then this seat, like the other one, to put the headrest down, has this, the folding feature, which if you pull that, it folds down neatly. And then you can also get in the back that way. So I showed you that third row of seats. So we have a power rear liftgate here. And then these seats operate automatically from these switches here. So if we go like that, they fold over like that. And so that shows the maximum kind of cargo capacity that you can get. Now something else very cool is that I showed you that the lift back here is automatic. It goes up and down. You can also operate it hands-free. There's a secret sensor right there. So if I simply wave my foot under there and then step back, it will close automatically. So if you have a bunch of groceries or packages in your hands, you can operate it hands-free. Okay, so as you could see, we have a very luxurious interior on the Enclave Avenir. Exterior is stylish, with a lot of styling cues that help separate it from models from GM or Chevrolet. And overall, a very good experience, and I enjoyed spending some time with the 2018 Buick Enclave Avenir.